Are you watching?
Sun is stopped.
Yeah, I don't think inviting to a broadcast works properly. You'll have to look at it on YouTube. Do you want to mute me and I just like kind of go full tutorial mode on this so you can see it, or do you want me? Actually, yeah, mute me. I'll go tutorial mode
Alright.
because it wouldn't make sense for me to tell you while you're watching something delayed. Alright, so first you need to make sure you have the grave key, and if you haven't unlocked this door here, then you need to go to the cliff underside and go and unlock it from the other side. And the bonfire is over there at where you are at Dilapidated Bridge. Okay, stop being chunguses. And then come right here. I've already opened this, but you'll be able to open that with the grave key. And you could take that ladder or not, you don't take fall damage. Then there'll be a loincloth down here that you can grab. Uh, then I think there's an item here, is there? Yeah, there's an item back here. Going to that skeleton, killing it. And if you go to the middle first, it'll trigger an item in the middle there. Right there, which you can get. And then in here, you walk forward. There's a skeleton here, which, simple enough. There's one, except, okay, that dog fell down. That'll happen sometimes. This skeleton spawns behind you. Well, not spawns, but resurrects behind you. And coming out here, there'll be a lizard here that I've already gotten. But, oh, that evangelist fell down here. You shouldn't usually have to deal with her, but sometimes you may. And then there's a Titanite shard here, and then there's another one over here. And when you grab that one, you want to run away because that guy will fall off the edge. You can completely ignore him. Then when you come around here, that body there will have the blessed red and white shield with it. You'll want to get that because it's a very nice, easy regen shield to put on your offhand. And you can shoot it down with a bow and arrow, which you should have gotten earlier. And here there's a bunch of rats. There's a talisman in that corner, but unless you actually plan on using it, it's not really that worth grabbing. And then when you get to the top of the ladder, there'll be an NPC in this corner. You can exhaust her dialogue. She'll want you to touch her because she's blind and she wants to have the feeling of touch. And then if you talk to her again after touching her, she'll request to be sent back to Firelink, and you can say yes, and then you'll gain access to miracles and whatnot. Then you'll come out here, and over here is uh, the solo area. Well, multiple solo areas, actually. So when we first come in, this is kind of your hint to this puzzle. You see that going up, and then an elevator coming from here. So I'll first show you the simple part. You can take it down, and in this next room there's going to be a Frost Knight, which he can't go through the door behind him, so you can abuse that if you need to. And you grab that ember. It's the loot trap. Opening the door gives you iframes. And it messes with his AI a bit. And like this is where I'm saying like you can abuse the door. And it's a pretty easy fight, especially if you abuse the door. And then there's a bonfire here. This will be the second part of the solo area that I'm going to show you. But for now, we're going to turn around and go back up the elevator. And that Frost Knight is a mini-boss, so he will never respawn. And then this is probably one of the simplest puzzles in the game, but I'll show you how to deal with this puzzle. So it's like, oh, I need to go up more, but the elevator always goes down. So you just send this one down, and the upstairs one comes down. And then you can take it all the way up. And you'll notice where it says, there's kind of like a platform there, which is useful later. And there's an item in this corner. And this is where the young white branch comes in handy. Because normally you'd have to get to here after all the hurling. But since we started off with the young white branch, that guy is just default peaceful. So you don't have to worry about him hurling any harpoons at you. And you want to look at the direction that the item was and then go back down and land on here. This is how you get to the side area, which is very important. Now with that, demon down there, Sigmund will help you fight it. Personally, I like to use the bow to pre-aggro the demon, so I don't have to go in melee range to aggro it. And there we go. And just de-equip that immediately. It will swing upwards at you. Yeah, wait for that. And you're going to be doing most of the damage in this fight. I don't know what's happened to its AI, but usually it bursts into more flames, and then yeah. Then after you beat it, you can talk to Sigmund. I think it's Sigurd in this game. He'll give you a Siegbrow. Then you talk to him again. He'll give you toast. Then you talk to him while he's sleeping. He'll give you sleep. And then now, for the most part, this entire area is completely safe. That area over there to the left is completely useless. There is a large club here. And then if you break these pots, you can get up on this roof. You smack that body down. It actually is easier for me to do this with one-handing. And that body as well. And that'll give you the northern armor. And this will give you the Pale Tongue, which is important for triggering an NPC's quest line. Once you get that, you can move further along in their quest. And this is meant to look like it's a trap, but it's not. It's just some red bug pellets. It's not the most useful thing, but it's okay. There's free souls. So that over there is a trap. You see, I can lock onto those. It's just an alluring skull, so that way it's not even worth going. And then over here, there's going to be 2 dogs here. Just standard deal. Okay. And here, this chest is trapped. So just open it, and if you have thrust weapon, it's very easy to deal with these guys. If not, they have like a lot of damage reduction, like I'll show you. Slash, it reduce that damage like a decent bit. But I think like certain weapons just do worse. But if you have a thrust, you completely bypass that entirely. And then here, there's two evangelists here. You don't even have to worry about them. You can just run past them. And if you get a little lucky, you can easily get it through them without even taking damage. Then up here is Flynn's ring. Pretty much useless, but yeah, it's needed if you want to get all the rings achievement. Then you could come down on this roof, down on this roof, and you're coming down around this corner. There's Homeward Bone there. And then here is a damage mitigation puzzle. You gotta run and jump and land on this, and then you can drop. If you drop from the top, you will die. And then that gives you the Chloranthy ring and some mirror gear. That part's not exactly important. And now we can Homeward Bone to the last bonfire rest of that. And I'm pretty sure that should take us back to right back to the rest of the solo area. Yep, it didn't exactly as I expected. There's some Corvian knights who transform. I'll let you see the transformation on this first guy. So yeah, he does that. You want to kind of deal with them before they can transform. And you can drop here and just plunge and just light attack that guy. Usually 2 hits will kill him. Then there's a Shriving Stone back there. And a soul item here. And if you go up this hill, there's another Corvian guy here that you can plunge. I don't think you actually even need to fight that guy. I don't know how I one-shot him, but I did. And then these guys, there's also a mage over here. You want to prevent him from screaming. And you can completely ignore those two. As long as you stick to the left side there, they won't aggro to you. Now here, this item around the corner is a loot trap. There's an NPC down here. And you don't want her to allow her to do that. Well, she keeps going for it and being greedy. Yep. You can stagger it completely out of her, and I got very lucky with her AI there. Then you can come back up and grab that. This is all just Brigand gear. There's Brigand Axe, Brigand Set, and I think that's the Brigand Twin Daggers down here. Yeah. The Brigand, weapons and whatnot, I don't think you'll really ever use, but the set is always nice to have for min-maxing armor. And if you come around here, there's a guy up here. Just deal with that guy who's sleeping. And if you get to this guy in time, he won't have enough time to transform. And there's a Titanite shard there. Which, depending on what you've gotten for item-wise so far, may or may not matter. Then here at this bridge, you want to drop down here. You'll want your shield for this next part. There's 2 dogs in here. Okay, I did not know that dog could do that. It's never happened to me before. knew it had some unique attack, but wasn't sure what it was. And then there's some stuff that matters for miracle builds. It'll allow you to learn more miracles and, well, cast stronger miracles with Morn's Ring. And then you can deal with these guys one at a time if you want. Or you can also just go to the left there. I'm personally just going to deal with them for the easy extra souls. And you should have heard it there, but that guy just screamed, which if there was any other of the other ones left, they would have all started to transform into their super aggressive form. And there is an Ember there, which you can come back and grab after you go down to this bonfire here, which is where the solo area does end, but there's also two NPCs over here. There's Henri, which is... Did I accidentally talk to Horse somehow?
Oh, hello.
There's Henri, which is the opposite gender of the player character. No matter what, exhaust her dialogue. And Horus, if you talk to him, he just grunts at you. But the first time, he'll give you the Blue Sentinels Covenant. And then, yeah, once you're here at Halfway Fortress, you can summon and be summoned. And that's the end of the first solo area.